So you want to learn how to cook the best Wagyu Filet Mignon? Well, you've come to the right place. Let's get this thing going and teach you how to grill these up.
All right, people, welcome back. This is Chris Sussman, otherwise known as the Barbecue Buddha, and I've taken a little bit of hiatus closing out last year, 2020, going into 2021. I'm down here at a house that we have in Gulfport, Florida. So you're gonna see a little bit of different settings, a little bit of different scenarios for the next couple of months while we get out of the winter doldrums back in Louisville. But today we're talking about how do you grill the perfect Wagyu, American Wagyu Filet Mignon. We are talking about Snake River Farms, Wagyu, American Wagyu Filet Mignons. And I get asked this so many times. So, we do a lot of complicated things at Barbecue Buddha. We do a lot of different cooks that involve a lot of different steps, but sometimes people just want to know how to cook a great steak. So today we're going to talk about how to cook a great steak. If you don't have Wagyu, don't worry about it. You could use prime, you could use choice, you could use whatever cut you have on hand. Just remember, if you're working with Wagyu, there's a ton of intramuscular fat in this meat, so it's going to cook a little bit differently than the cut you're having. So remember, always use your eyes, always use your touch, and always use your senses to know when the meat's done. But we'll go over that a little bit later. So let's go ahead and get this meat prepped. We're gonna take it out of the packaging. We got 4 of these beautiful steaks. For a point of reference, each one of these steaks is 6 ounces. 6-ounce steaks that we have from Snake River Farms. Before I season my steaks, I always like to rub it with a paper towel, just get the extra moisture from the packaging off of the steaks. And here we have 4 beautiful filet mignons, Wagyu filet mignons that we're gonna season up. So I like to put a little bit of an olive oil as a binder before you put the rub. Just a teeny bit will do. I'm just rubbing it all over these steaks. For this cook, I'm gonna use one of my favorite rubs on a steak. It's Dizzy Pig Seasonings Cow Lick. You got that right, Cow Lick. It's so good, it'll make you wanna lick the cow. But you could use salt and pepper, any type of seasoning that you want. Really want to let the meat do all the talking. So we've got this wonderful Cow Lick seasoning here from Dizzy Pig, and let me just season these steaks all over. Now these are so thick, you have a lot of real estate on all sides, so I'm gonna go ahead and cover the rub on all sides of this delicious Wagyu, American Wagyu Filet Mignon. I get a lot of comments all the time about Wagyu, American Wagyu steak, specifically Snake River Farms. I understand that Wagyu is the pronunciation, the correct pronunciation for that, Wagyu, which means Japanese cow, Japanese, gu means cow. I'm probably still mispronouncing it. I will get flamed down in the comments, but I'm trying. So you ask, if Wagyu means Japanese cow, how can you have American Wagyu? Well, it's really a labeling. Snake River Farms has their own line of bulls from Japan, the Wagyu bulls, and they bring them over to their ranch in Idaho, and they breed them with beautiful Angus cows, and that's where you get the best of both worlds. You get a Wagyu, the marbling, it's a BMS of 9 on their gold grade. These are gold grade steaks. A BMS, that's the beef marbling system, I believe is what BMS stands for. So you get really intense marbling, but you also get that delicious American Angus flavor. It's the best of both worlds. So while I let these steaks come up to room temperature, they're gonna sit here for about an hour. I'm gonna take you outside and we're gonna light up the big green egg so you can see how I set up my grill to cook the perfect Wagyu filet mignon. If you don't have a big green egg, I'll point out to you the types of things you could do using your grill at home. Don't worry, I've got you covered. I'm glad to be back. Thanks for joining me, and let's get this thing going.
I'm using the Big Green Egg's new fire bowl for split zone grilling. Direct side is on the right, the indirect side is on the left. Don't worry if you're not using a Big Green Egg, just move the charcoal to one side and leave the other side empty so you have a hot side and a cold side. For this cook, I'm doing a classic steakhouse sear, so I got the Big Green Egg up to 450. The top vent is open 3/4 of the way, and the bottom vent is opened up 3/4 of the way. We don't want it too hot, but we want it hot enough to get that sear. Alright, so those beautiful Wagyu fillets have been sitting out at room temp for an hour with the rub on them. The Big Green Egg is up to temperature at 450 degrees. I'm placing the Wagyu Filet Mignons on the direct side, and we're going to let these cook for about 5 minutes before we flip them. Look at the beautiful color on that. Look at the charcoal below. This is going to be delicious, folks. Alright people, it's been 5 minutes. Let's flip these over. Look at that beautiful color forming. I'm not worried about grill marks. Grill marks are not for me. You get more flavor with that good crust across the whole surface. Look at that sizzle deliciousness. We're going to let this go another 5 minutes. Alright people, we're going to move the filet mignons, the Wagyu filet mignons, over to the indirect side. We're looking for a target temperature of 130 for medium rare, because when we let these rest, they're going to come up to 135, which is the perfect temp for medium rare steak. While the steaks are cooking on the indirect side, I'm going to close the top vent 9/10 of the way and the bottom vent 9/10 of the way. So it's been about 5 more minutes. These are small fillets, Wagyu fillets, 6 ounces, so it didn't take long to bring them up to temperature. I'm pulling them off at 130. We're going to let these rest on this teak wood cutting board for about 10 minutes, and they'll be a perfect medium rare temperature. You'll see this end-to-end pink in just a moment when we slice into these beauties. Yes. The steaks have rested 10 minutes. Let's slice into the first one and see what it looks like inside. Look at that, people. It's beautifully pink center, gorgeous crust, perfectly grilled Wagyu filet mignon. Let's take a look at another one. Bam. We've got perfect steaks for our dinner tonight. Yes.
All right, people. You saw how I cooked these filet mignons, these Wagyu filet mignons from Snake River Farms. I did it a little bit differently. Everybody's all, myself included, in on this trend of the reverse searing. I did a classic steakhouse sear, which means I started off on the direct side. I seared it for about 4 minutes a side. Then I moved it to the indirect side for about 7 to 10 minutes. Remember, these are small 6 ounces. If your steak is bigger, go longer. You're looking for an end temperature for medium rare of 130 when you pull it off the grill, because when you pull it off the grill and you let it rest for 10 minutes, it's going to rise about 5 degrees to a perfect medium rare of 135. Look at that end-to-end pink. You get that nice crust on the outside. See these beautiful steaks. You get this excellent crust. I'm going to do the Buddha bite right now. We're going to make this video short and sweet. The lighting is a little bit different. The setup is a little bit different. I'm trying some new things, so bear with me. This is the first video that I'm making from my new place down in Florida, and we will get this set up down so you will get the video production awesomeness from the barbecue Buddha that you're used to. So let's get that bite. You ready? Let's move these big old steaks out of the way. I'm gonna get myself a nice healthy Buddha bite because this steak looks delicious. All right, people, let's get that Buddha bite. All right, if you like what you saw here, please leave a comment below. Press the subscribe button right to my left and let me know what you want to see next. And until we eat again, thanks from the barbecue Buddha. See you later, alligator.